What is going on, Babylonians? It's me, Songs of Rage, back with another Outriders video to bring to you, and today we're actually going to be looking at something that we haven't really been able to do in Outriders before, obviously because of the timers, but we've had some kind of extent, but that's the fact that we can now give dedicated RPG roles to the members of our fire team. So obviously we can have it used to be the case that everyone was DPS because obviously we've got the timers and all that kind of thing, but now what I want to do is I want to dedicate it, similar to like World of Warcraft do in terms of like dungeons and expos and all that kind of thing. I want one person as a dedicated tank that's supposed to be there to be able to try and take as much of the aggro and obviously take as much of the damage. I want someone to be DPS that's supposed to be designed to be squishy but obviously is there to be purely kill everything that's pretty much in their path, and I wanted one that was some kind of support, whether it be a healer or whether it be some kind of debuff or something like that. I wanted to be able to see what we could make from this, and if it is a case that Outriders actually has a possibility to be able to go down that route at some point. So the idea I had was that I wanted to have a Devastator that was purely built to be able to go around defense in terms of like reflect bullets, to be able to make sure that no damage goes to the people that are stood behind them. I wanted it to be a case that they could provide as much buffs as possible, so when it comes to armor, when it comes to firepower, so I obviously had that in mind for my Devastator build. I was thinking more for like a pyro, for a debuff pyro. So obviously the firepower Technomancer, that's going to be the one that stood at the back, the one that's going to be dealing all the damage out. They've got everything they need to be able to absolutely demolish everything that's in front of them. And I wanted to see how it kind of went, and you're going to see some findings in there right now, but yeah, if you got any ideas like this that you want to actually see us like try and experiment with Outriders, then by all means let us know. I would like to see like a trickster get involved with that at some point, because even though we can only have a 3-player party and there's 4 characters, I feel like they're kind of like the designed rogue of the Outriders game. So yeah, let us know. Let us know if you found this enjoyable. Let us know if there's anything you would change up yourself. But yeah, that's enough from me. Let's get straight into the gameplay. All right. So before we get started, let's break the team down. Let's look at the 2 people that I've managed to rope in, the 2 suckers as I like to call it, that I managed to grab from the Discord that were able to help me out in this game. And I chose the perfect team for this. They really were top notch. They did everything I could have asked for, and it was really exceptional, the gameplay we were able to get from this. So obviously I'm playing the tank, I'm playing the buff Devastator, the build that you would have already seen by now. It's pure defense, there's literally barely any offense whatsoever other than the mods that are currently on the gun. But my job is to create cover, because this is Marshall's Complex, so we are expecting a lot of bullets to be coming our way, but also to be able to push the beast back as well. So I've got my reflect bullets there, ready for that. I've got my defense option, so I'm able to buff the whole team with extra defense with Golem, so I'm able to provide that across all of them, and I've increased the duration as well, so they actually get it for a decent amount of time. And then on top of that, I've gone for my Tremor, which allows the additional firepower, allows the additional leech from shooting as well, and it also gives them an extra damage buff as well. But this will primarily only be focused on the Technomancer. The reason why is because it is all weapon leech, it is all weapon damage, and the debuff pyro is not going to be offering that at all. So the main gear that we've got then is we've got Swimmy, who is our main DPS top tree firepower Technomancer, who's going around pretty much annihilating everything as well. And between the debuffs that the pyro is able to offer and the buffs that the tank is able to provide and all the space I'm able to create, Swimmy was just having an absolute field day with this whole thing. And we were recording huge numbers. I was asking him throughout the whole thing, I was like, oh, what's the numbers round about now? What are the numbers now after I've activated my buffs? We were seeing huge increases, and this was obviously on top of the debuff, this was on top of the buffs. It was insane. We got to the end of this run and genuinely said this is possibly the easiest run we've ever actually had to do. The Technomancer had seen massive amounts of like DPS increase, which is awesome. Then the only downside to playing this way is it requires quite a bit of coordination compared to your normal playthrough. Now, obviously there's no voice chat, there's nothing inside of Outriders to be able to like communicate, especially when you're in the field. It kind of relies on you to already have that kind of setup. Now, obviously, we had the presence of Discord to be able to do that, so I was able to be in constant communication between all 3 of us at all times. So I was able to advise when I was setting up my reflect bullets. I was able to advise what kind of like position I was holding to be able to provide that kind of cover to them. But you technically can get away with it as long as the Devastator is at the front and able to just create that space that's demanded for both of the builds that are behind them. Then you're absolutely fine. Just know that if there's a Devastator in front of you holding their reflect bullets, you're good to go. You do not necessarily need to worry about damage. My main priority was obviously having that cover set up, but also to be able to watch the health bars in the top right. And the reason why is if my reflect bullets are ever down, because I do actually use it for almost the full duration, which then obviously does mean that I do have a decent cooldown to it, then what I have to worry about. I can then proc Golem, and then that goes onto my whole team. That actually covers me for the cooldown of my reflect bullets, and it also means I'm able to take away the 65% of the damage that's going to be incoming to them. So instead of negating all 100% from the bullets and all that, I'm now only negating 65%. But then once that my reflect bullets comes back, I then can go back to 100, and it's basically an alternation between those. I also alternate between Golem and Tremor as well. So it's very interesting. It's kind of intensive that you need to be able to keep an eye on your cooldowns for this build. Obviously, you will find times where you do actually get to shoot your gun. You do get to deal a little bit of damage, all that kind of thing. So I think I was averaging around about 30-40 million damage, and around about 80% of that was just pure mod damage, which was just insane. But yeah, so don't expect to be able to do much damage as this, but let's be honest, if you're playing as the tank when it comes to these kind of RPG kind of games, you're never really going to be the main damage dealer at all. It's always going to be about the DPS and making sure that they stay safe. So all in all, the first part of Marshall's Complex in this run that we're doing right here was absolutely spot on. We were talking about the main thing that came back to me, the main feedback that I was receiving for this, because obviously this was an idea I was trying to pass around for a little while. Snipers, never have to worry about snipers. You're never going to be stumbled. Snipers cannot get through whatsoever. Everyone was having a field day. No one had to worry about stumble or anything like that. It was great. You don't worry about low health. I'm always keeping an eye on that. I'm always making sure of that. And playing as this class, you don't have to worry about your own health. You never have to look in the bottom left. You can always just look in the top right and make sure that your teammates are absolutely fine. So we've got debuffs coming in, we've got buffs coming in. The Technomancer was having a right good time, and that means they had the ability to, they didn't have to worry about anything coming up close. They didn't have to worry like panic or anything like that. They can go pure glass cannon on this, and that actually opens up a lot of freedom for build. It allows you to be able to go pure DPS rather than actually going into a little bit of middle tree to be able to grab a little bit of max health, or worry about what kind of rolls you have on your equipment, especially in this current end game that we now have, especially with these newer expeditions. Considering how manic it can actually get, the fact that the Technomancer, and you can provide that space to them for them to actually achieve their maximum damage from their long range and all that kind of thing, is just a godsend. And it really did show in the gameplay as well, because Swimmy was just absolutely laughing the whole way through, just as to damage numbers in over 10 million at times, and that's even without blighted rounds, which was insane. We were testing out rifles, we were testing out ARs. Either way, we had no trouble whatsoever getting through all of this, and it's just a testament to the fact that teamwork really gets by. Pixel was doing such a great job in being able to apply all the debuffs as well, and it definitely, we wouldn't have reached those numbers that the Technomancer was able to do if it wasn't for Pixel as well in the background. So my job was keeping both of those alive, and obviously pushing enemies as far back as physically possible, and I just let them to worry about their own, because they're both experienced players. They know exactly how to handle their builds, they know exactly what they need to do. So I'll just worry about my own thing. I'll let them handle the rest, and it worked a treat. It really did. And like I said, at the end, we genuinely came back. We genuinely, it is a consensus from all three of us. It was pretty much, that was an easy run, and it's made me think, what can we do for, where can we take this now? Can we actually take this into other expeditions? Can we take it into Eye of the Storm? Is it going to work in that kind of atmosphere? Can we take a Devastator that's buff? Can we take a debuff Pyro? Can we take a Technomancer? And are we able to protect the Technomancer for everything that's going to appear? I'm half tempted to even let Yagak actually spawn the Reapers, and just see if we can actually just handle it. See if the Devastator has the ability to be able to do so, be able to tank all that damage, and just handle the manicness that is that end fight for the Eye of the Storm. So that if that's something that interests you, if that's something you want us to see and be able to test out, then make sure you drop a comment in the section down below, and I'll go through those. And if I can, then maybe I'll grab Swimmy and Pixel again, and we'll try that out for. So now it's a case of, have I achieved my objective? Have I achieved what I set out to be able to prove? Have I achieved the fact that we can have our RPG classes, like pre-designed classes, all that inside of Outriders, and does that strategy work to a high degree at endgame, and is it efficient? Is it viable? Is it like cutting it close or anything like that? And I can safely and resoundingly say that yes, if you have a couple of teammates that you're willing to be able to like have a little bit of communication with, it doesn't take much by all means, because obviously it's a case of you just notice where each of you are in the battlefield, but if you have that kind of communication going and you're open to this idea, it is a lot of fun, it is very effective, and you're able to pretty much clear every single one of the objectives or the expeditions as they come. If you would like to be able to see us test this out on a few other expeditions, then by all means drop those in the comment section down below. We did give this a go on Molten Depths, and it also worked a treat on there as well. I'm pretty sure that's the quickest I've ever seen the Molten Hikari spider ever disappear. It was almost to like the same degree as watching Yagak disappear on Eye of the Storm carries. It really was insane, and if I can find the footage from Swimmy, I will quite happily pop that as like a short over in our Discord as well, just so you can actually enjoy that. But yes, if you have a couple of people that are interested in trying this, get yourself a tank class, get yourself a support class, and get yourself a DPS class, and just have a laugh with it. So that pretty much wraps up the spoken section of this video. I had a blast doing this. I would definitely be up for doing it again, and I hope that some of you take this away and actually give it a go in your game as well. Maybe something to be able to spice up your endgame kind of activities as well. Massive thank you to Swimmy and to Pixel. It really means a lot that obviously you were able to take part in the video, and you were up for being able to test this out for me, and yeah, just massive props to you, so thank you so much. And if you're in the Discord, make sure to head over there and say hi, and thank you for the video and all that to both of them, and even drop that in the comment section down below as well. That just leaves a little bit of time to be able to say thank you so much to the Babylonian family as well, because obviously they donate to us, so thank you so much. Their names are going to appear at the end of the video, and if you want to take part and obviously get your name at the end of each of our videos, all you need to do is just click that join button that's found down below. It is literally as simple as 99p a month, and it just gets your name up there and gets you some special perks over on our Discord as well, and it really means the world to us, and it also gets put straight back into the community as well. I will leave a couple of clips that I did actually have from this run, which was after the run, which I did find, I found it to be quite funny, so I'll leave those for you as well. But as always, keep yourself safe, keep yourself well, and I'll see you all on that next video. upset now. Why would you shoot us? Hi. He tried to thermal bomb the PCF developers. I don't know if I can put this in the video now. I'm not too sure if this is okay to do. We'll just we'll blur out the name. How much damage blocked? What the? Wait, how did how was Pixel blocked more damage than me? What is this? How does that work? I need to. I need to figure out what that works with. No. It's got to be something to do with Golem, surely. It's got to be. I mean, I can understand me not getting shot because of the reflect bullets, but it's got.